What is going on, everybody? It is episode 462 of Pop Culture Crisis. My name is Brett. I'm here with my co-host. Would you introduce yourself, please?
Hi, Crisis Actors. It's Mary. Guys, the show is falling apart. Everything is crumbling down. Brett is sick. He has long COVID. Everything's falling apart. Give us money.
Exactly. That's what I'm asking right now. Is because...
because I have doing so hot.
We're good. We're gonna get through this today, guys. I hope everyone is having a good day. Would you hit the like button on this video? Subscribe to this channel if you have not done so already. Do it for me, who isn't feeling well today, but has shown up for all of you, even though I'm probably gonna cough my ass off this whole day.
We're all alone at the castle again.
It actually is like empty today. Yesterday there was people in the newsroom working. Today it was like just us. I was like, hello.
It's kind of creepy.
Yeah, so guys, hit the like button on this video. Subscribe to this channel if you have not done so already. Turn the notification bell on.
Just got your birth control alarm.
Just got my birth control alarm. Remember, all Superchats, $20 and over. We will interrupt the discussion. We'll read them right then and there. Maybe you want to ask me how I'm doing today. Maybe that's what you want to do. We got a bunch of stuff to talk about today. There's a couple of very big wars being fought today. Katy Perry versus old people. There is a new law being enacted to prevent you, if you are old, from the evildoer that is Katy Perry, from swindling you out of your home. So we're going to talk about that. It's literally called the Katy Perry Act. So we will discuss it. We're also going to talk about how the NFL has turned their backs. The NFL fans have turned their backs on Taylor Swift.
The NFL proper is loving Taylor Swift being affiliated with the NFL and like going to games.
Exactly.
But the fans are hating it.
Exactly. They're sick of it. They feel like they're being peddled a product
They're being
of a tall,
psyops.
leggy blonde bombshell that they don't want to have to see while they're trying to watch football. Right? So we're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about this interesting op-ed that this man wrote that calls all of the stars of Harry Potter ungrateful. They're bad people, he says, because they abandoned J.K. Rowling. And then after that, guys, we're going to have a fun discussion in which a bunch of people on Twitter trauma dumped all of their worst celebrity encounters. Mary's very excited about this one.
Yeah, I love focusing on the negative.
We got that. We got a bunch of other stuff. It's going to be a lot of fun here today, guys. So we are going to get through it the best we can, right?
I just got a $20 one from Ryan Moretti. Says, still getting over that too. You guys are doing a great job. Hang in there, Brett.
Doing our best, and I'm also double checking on the crisis meter today. You want to?
Is this not working again?
That would be right on par with, or on brand right now, would it not? There it goes. It was just
okay.
It was just slow today.
It's been kind of late.
Yeah. Oh, is that what it is? It's been late. Yeah. Hold on for a second. I'm gonna go double check this here. Make sure
it's
everything's
updating.
It's okay. Yeah, that's
it's just late.
Slow. It's got the first two, but it doesn't have the 20. So we're getting it. So
it'll show up.
All right, there we go. There it is, guys. All right, gentlemen. All right, ladies. I'm feeling great. That's what it is. So I'm feeling fantastic right now. Can you tell?
Yeah.
So you know what? We got a bunch of other stuff to get into as well. So Mary, if you are ready, we will just get right into it. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, let's go ahead and get started. First things first, guys, there's a trailer that went up yesterday that's a lot of fun. It's for a new movie called Silent Night, and it's a John Woo action film starring Joel Kinnaman. Now, I love Joel Kinnaman. Say what you want about him in the Suicide Squad movie. But I loved him in The Killing, which is an American adaptation of a Danish show with Muriel Enos that came out back in the early 2010s. I think it came out in 2014, or maybe it ended in 2014. But yeah, they're saying the crisis meter has longer COVID. Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah, everything's wrong today.
But guys, go check out this trailer. At first, I was a little bit like weirded out because last year we had Violent Night, which is also a Christmas-related revenge movie. And what this movie is, it's a father. It's every Liam Neeson movie in the last 10 years mixed with Peppermint with Jennifer Garner. It's good. It's going to be fun. This trailer's a lot of fun. I don't want to play it because I don't want to have to go and get us.
Is it a Christmas movie?
It's going to be much like Die Hard, right? It takes place over Christmas. So does that make it a Christmas movie?
I didn't watch the trailer. I should have gone to that. But
do you want to just watch it? We can just watch it. What the hell with it? We'll watch it today. We'll watch it today.
Going to shit anyway.
Let's watch it here, guys.
Shots fired.
All units, please respond.
Wow, not a single line of dialogue there.
That's what some of the comments were really funny. They're aiming to make a character that speaks even less than John Wick.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
I'm gonna be surprised at what his voice sounds like.
One thing I like about Joel Kinnaman is he doesn't look like I always got surprised because the first thing I was ever exposed to him in was his role in the Killing, which was a good show, but it was a TV show, right? But he does a lot of movies, and he doesn't look like the traditional Hollywood. You know, he's kind of normal looking. He's kind of a normal looking dude. He's not really
doesn't look like an action star.
Well, he doesn't have the Hollywood. He's a good looking dude, but he doesn't have that traditional Hollywood face, and that's what I like about it. Is he kind of like when you watch him in the show The Killing, the show is depressing, and they do a very good job. Muriel Enos at that time, beautiful woman, but they make it's like it takes place in Seattle, so every episode's just raining.
Yeah.
It's just depressing. Everybody's wearing oversized clothes, and they do a good job of making like beautiful people look more normal. Right?
Gritty,
yeah, would be a good way of putting it.
I was too busy watching the Priscilla trailer.
Yeah. And, are you excited for that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
See, men and women are different, guys.
Men and women are different.
They're different. But we will probably go. But that's not theaters, right?
That is actually.
Oh, it is. When does that come out?
I forget. I think it's in November, though.
So we'll probably go see both of these and review them. But it reminded me a little bit of like a better version of a movie that came out in 2013 called Brick Mansions with Paul Walker and RZA and a bunch of other actors. That it was based off a French film that came out at the same time. It's really the American adaptation was really, really bad. It was like Paul Walker's last role. It was a Luc Besson film, but this looks like a more aptly handled version of that as far as the actual fight scenes.
I think I'm
in
gonna
this.
like Violent Night more.
We'll see. We'll see. We'll do a review for it. So.
Okay.
All right, guys. Mary, tell us what's going on with this because this was disturbing.
Yeah. This says Michelle Obama enjoys a snorkeling session with shirtless Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson in Italy before climbing aboard Steven Spielberg's $250 million super yacht. The former First Lady is still on vacation away from President Obama, and he recently ignored a reporter when he was asked if his wife was running for president.
Yeah.
Do you think they're going to get divorced too? Melania divorces Trump, then Michelle divorces Obama.
And they have a gay marriage together and become the First Lady and
Yikes.
and first female president.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Are you allowed to have your spouse as your running mate?
That's a good question. Chat, let me know.
I want Trump to do that.
To run as vice
with
president.
Melania.
Or you want Melania to be vice president?
But now that you mention it, Melania would be one of the few women I would trust in that position.
There you go. Very good.
Good idea.
It's just remember that.
But it's all a big club and you're not in it, etc., etc.
The comments are very, very funny on this one. It's not very nice.
Then they went to a spirit cooking party.
Must be. Oh yeah, Melania is not American born, so she can't.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
You're right.
I'll never forget, like, it's really funny, like, one of those people who would, like, try to hit me with the gotchas. They're like, he married an immigrant. I'm like, yeah, but she came here legally. That's the point.
Does the vice president also have to be American born?
I'm sure. Because
Okay.
then you would, to do...
What about the Speaker of the House?
Chat, you'll have to let them know whether that is possible or not. But yeah, so all of those actors, and it just goes to show, right? They all wanted in on Hollywood from the very beginning, which is why it was such a big deal for them to. There was a great thing the other day. It's like Barack Obama just was very good about like not giving out too many presidential medals of freedom, and it shows like a montage of just all the celebrities who got presidential medals of freedom: Oprah Winfrey, Tom Hanks, all of these celebrities that don't need it nor deserve it.
It's still going on now.
Yep.
We brought Ted Lasso to the White House.
Well, they love that, right? They love to implement pop culture figures, movie figures, Hollywood figures, and that's why they win. And honestly, that's why they win.
Is that why Mindy Kaling got the medal?
Yeah, because she's advancing causes for Southeast Asian women or something like that, and then they just slap the award on you. But this is why they win, right? Because they're very good at implementing figures from popular culture into politics, and then it kind of brings the two together.
Mindy Kaling, woman of the people.
Everyone loves Mindy Kaling. Who wouldn't love that? Yeah. All right. What did you think of this, Mary?
David Beckham just got a lot of pushback on Instagram because there was a video of him with his daughter where she's doing his makeup, and it was for like an event they were going to, and they're singing Taylor Swift together. It's very girl dad. And then they have just like a half of a second at the end of the video where she pecks him on the lips.
Okay.
And people were literally calling him a pedophile for this. It's insane.
Yeah. It's likely coming from people, right, who just are looking for something to complain about and don't have kids.
Yeah, that too. But also, like, I don't know. Have you seen the way that Italian families or anyone from, like, Southern Europe
but in Italy they do it on the cheeks though, right? They don't do it on the lips. I don't know.
I mean, I'm not Italian. I don't know how
the video just didn't seem.
It was the most wholesome video, and the internet just tears apart anything that's wholesome now.
Her dad, like the girl, like David Beckham, just let her put makeup on him. It's kind of that. There's that famous picture of like The Rock at like having a tea party with his daughter, and it's just funny because The Rock is just enormous. But, you know, dads will do what they have to for their daughters.
Well, I mean, he has to wear makeup for events anyway, right?
I don't think she's the one doing his makeup for events. Maybe it's the same lady who did Ron DeSantis' makeup yesterday.
Weren't they on the way to Fashion Week?
Could be.
That's why she was doing that.
It's, well, should she really be doing it with the jacket on, though?
It's better than the Ron DeSantis powder puff video.
That is true. That's for
sure.
And more wholesome.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's I just feel like these days like if you're a parent, putting anything on social media with your kids is just a rest. It's like pet videos. Anything that you post of your pet on the internet, you will get 1,000 people in the comments section telling you that you're an awful person and that what you're doing is harming. Like I've
seen like videos where they teach they teach puppies to swim.
Yeah.
And they're like, this is abusive, actually.
I saw one the other day of like people who they're trying to get their cats to stop from coming on jumping on the counters. So they put tinfoil down, which apparently they like then jump like 8 feet in the air.
Why?
I have no idea.
Okay, that's funny.
But the cats are jumping like 8 feet in the air. Now, on one hand, the cat is doing something it shouldn't be doing. On the other hand, the guy's clearly recording it and looking to get the video content out of it.
Yeah.
So, you know, who's the bad guy in this case?
Seems harmless.
Like today, I got scratched on the face because we had to try to give we were giving Bucko his meds.
Oh.
And, you know, you got to be the bad guy sometime to make sure that
Poor cat.
Kitty Cat gets his meds because we need Bucko to live as long as he can possibly live.
How's he doing?
He's as defiant as ever. And I posted a picture of him sleeping yesterday. You know, whenever he's here, I make sure to post lots of pictures of him because if I don't see him for a while. But he because he over the winter last year, he was here all the time. So he would let me hold him all the time if I wanted to. Now he's less willing to do that because he's not here that much.
I see him around.
but not near. He's not here all the time. He was
Yeah.
here all the time before. But Bucko.
Sorry
seems to
that
be,
happened to you.
He does love.
You're having a rough one.
Yeah, it's not the best day for me at all. But he does then get very excited when you come down to feed him because he wants to be fed because he's. I'm like, oh
trying
yeah,
to steal my food
I'm like,
yesterday.
you're always so appreciative and affectionate when I'm coming down here to give you food, but no other time. So that's what it's like to be a parent. They only love you when you're about to give them something, and then otherwise they're like, leave me alone, Mom. Leave me alone, Dad. You don't get it. It's not a phase, Mom.
I like that you're the Bucko cat dad now.
That's basically. Well, it's got to make sure that the kitty cat is okay. So. All right, what happened with Kanye?
Okay, this is really funny. TMZ posted this footage that was taken of Kanye. I don't know where it came from or why. It's from back in 2018. And he's calling Cardi B an industry plant while he's on the phone with someone. It's hilarious.
That's why fucking
Looks like his camera is open, if I'm being honest.
Yes, it is.
Cardi B is a plant by the Illuminati. She don't write her raps. She's just there to like sound as ignorant as possible, and then make songs like "fuck him" and you get some money. She was literally replaced, Nicki Minaj purposely. That they put her there, and now she doesn't know what to do, and she's just she has no idea what the fuck is going on. She thinks it's just a blessing from the universe. There ain't no blessing from the fucking universe.
So is he actually on the phone or is he faking?
No, some people were saying he's faking the phone call to get recorded talking shit about Cardi B, but other people are saying he had his camera app open to hide who it was he was talking to.
Ah, that's very clever. Yeah, they got it here.
Clever man.
They're showing it right there. But that's the thing. It shouldn't show anyways. If your phone's on, it should be a black screen. Bad cell phone acting is one of my biggest problems in Hollywood.
You can open the camera app while you're on the phone, and the camera app will be open.
I know, but I'm saying that he didn't need to do that. If you just hold the phone to your face, the phone will go dark. Bad cell phone.
He was on speakerphone though.
That's a problem. You should bad cell phone acting is one of the worst things in the world. Like when you watch movies and they're like this.
I love how he like licks his finger and then turns the magazine page. Like I love this new image of Kanye where he's just like gossiping at the hair salon with the other ladies, or he's like twirling the phone cord while he's gossiping about like other ladies.
I like the idea that his mom wouldn't get him a second phone line when he was young. You're too young to know what that is, Mary. But back in the day, if you had a landline at your house and you wanted to not tie up the landline for everybody, you had to have a second line installed so that way you could use the phone and then other people could answer the phone while you were still on it.
Got it.
That was the thing.
I'll have to ask my parents about that.
Yeah, it's back in the good old days. That's the way it was. And then he could sit there on like a rotary phone, twirling the cable, going like, "Oh my god!"
Kicking his feet in the air. But also,
do you think she is an industry plant?
I don't think that her lyrical content is all that dissimilar from Nicki Minaj's. Like, is Nicki Minaj some kind of paragon of virtue?
But she's not really making much music these days, is
Cardi
she?
B?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's just busy throwing microphones at people.
Yeah.
I haven't seen new music from her.
No, I'm saying Nicki Minaj is not making much music these days.
She just had that collab with Ice Spice.
Oh, yes, she did. Okay. So, I mean,
Ice Spice is a definite industry plant.
You know who's been having a lot of interesting discussions about this lately is actually Ice Cube. Has been talking with like a lot of people.
Ice Cube has been talking about Ice Spice.
No, he's been talking about like the effect of, because he's been having a lot of discussions with people talking about, because he was an original founding member of NWA, and they were having a lot of discussions back and forth on Twitter about the role that groups like NWA played in shifting the culture, right? So, because people are like, look, do you feel like you are part of the reason for decline in African American culture? Like people were asking him that question. He's like, no. He's like, we made music, and he goes, we weren't mainstream. The mainstream found us. Like, we weren't lobbying for mainstream roles. That's just what ended up happening. So there's actually been some fairly interesting discussions going on about that lately. Oh, there's one from Shane Schwelder. It's back to working again, folks, ladies.
That's such a bizarre question to ask him, though. Like, So how do you feel about being solely responsible for the degradation of our culture?
A lot of people were saying that to him. He's like, look, it's like, well, I mean, they weren't necessarily putting it at his feet. They're putting it at the record label's feet. Like, is this a concerted effort on behalf of the music industry to degrade culture? And a lot of people make that argument.
I mean, it's just whatever is marketable.
Yeah. But in a lot of ways, they're like, look, can music that's not like that sell? Like, otherwise, it's just bland dance music. Like, when we were listening...
Taylor Swift's music isn't like that.
That's true. But she's a uniquely female demographic. If you want to reach both genders, debauchery seems to be something both genders enjoy listening to music of. It's really funny because when we listened to that Lil Tay song yesterday, I was like, it is literally like a formula. That what she's releasing.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, guys, she was 14, not 16.
Yeah, we were confused about that. She is 14.
Which means that those cars, she's not even able to drive those cars she was trying to...
She might have a learner's permit. You don't know, Brett. But there is something...
Press X to doubt.
There's something sinister about her stage mom allowing her to...
Dress like that at 16, let alone 14. Oh, yeah. Like to me, 14
it's
is
weird
like,
no matter what,
Yeah.
but it's worse now that we know she's not even old enough to drive those McLarens.
You can't even drive the supercar, so why are you talking about it? Or she's like, I want to own mansions. And I'm like, you can't even own a mansion yet. You're not an adult.
Your mom would have to sign the contract.
But you got to get the kids hooked on that stuff. And Tom McDonald's made music about this too, about how they make music to get you addicted to listening to stuff about guns, drugs, going to the club.
Kanye was talking
money.
like that too when he started, like when he put out the gospel album
and even
stuff.
before that.
But then since then he's put out other music that's not wholesome.
Andrina says you get a permit at 15, not 14. See, I said that too. I got my permit at 15.
It depends on the state.
You're saying there's states where you can get a permit at 14.
I think you could be like 14 and a half.
Well, what's the point? You can't get a license till you're 16. So it's just like to give you more time to practice?
I guess. Yeah.
So yeah, they're saying 14 and 9 months. I have no idea if that's an actual number or not.
It doesn't matter because Gen Z is at like average.
Way less people are driving.
Way less Gen Z is driving, and they're waiting longer to get their licenses.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think that they're waiting to drive?
They don't have any social gatherings to go to.
They're
maybe they don't have any boyfriends or girlfriends to go see.
Nobody to impress.
They have nowhere to go. They just sit inside in their room on TikTok. But that sounds like I'm denigrating them, but I'm not. It's truly a sad situation. I waited. I also waited, even though I could have driven earlier just to take myself to school, but I didn't get my license until I was like 18 and a half. No, not 18 and a half. I think I was definitely over 18.
Yeah. Plus gas is expensive. But like the article I was reading was saying that like parents are like getting their kids like Uber accounts, which would cost just as much as giving your kids gas money.
Costs more.
Yeah.
It definitely costs more than gas money.
Sarah
awful.
was telling me a story because she was just out of town in where she's Costa Rica or something.
Yeah.
She's talking about how like she took like an hour and a half taxi and it was like $126. I'm like, do you know how long an hour and a half taxi would be here? how much that would cost?
Damn.
Yeah, dude. Crazy. Oh, there's a $20 one there from Gabatron. Thank you.
He said you guys should watch Flora and Son, rare modern movie that's hella wholesome and no wokeness.
I would have to watch that. I had somebody who left a very kind comment yesterday. They weren't buying what I was selling with the creator and said that I am.
You're woke adjacent.
Yes, he called me left/woke adjacent, and like
Wokesville
and like
population Brett.
And like, you know the meme where it shows Daenerys being hoisted up by everyone, says like white people whenever they insult white people on Facebook. This is my own version of that, where I'm like, I am not those things. Or I mean, I still think of myself as
Brett's invited
liberal.
To the cookout.
I'm invited to the liberal cookout full of tacos with no seasoning. That is me, right? Because I am apparently woke adjacent.
You're very proud of that.
I'm sure somebody in the chat would agree.
You should get a T-shirt that says woke adjacent.
What is it that makes somebody woke adjacent? I have to know. Like, is it like because I'm like, yeah, I want to see women in
liberal?
movies. I'm like, I like women in movies. They're like, that's bullshit. We want nothing but dudes
I like
in
women,
movies.
and then they cut you off.
Yeah, they're like, hey, stop
Woke.
right there. Stop right there. That's not good. It's just funny because I can get called, depending on the day, I could be called either
a fascist
or a woke
wokist.
libtard. Yeah, like one of those things would be something they would call me on an average day. So I don't know what exactly makes. Oh, somebody says the blonde tips. Maybe it's the blonde tips that make me woke.
If you dyed them blue, definitely.
And somebody says Brett is one pack of blue hair dye away from being totally unhinged. That's totally it, dude.
It's gonna seep into your brain cells.
I'm gonna start counting the speaking time for the race of every character in a movie and start writing letters to the USC.
Someone did that
Annenberg.
to us.
Yes, somebody in the chat last week.
They
definitely did
Bechdel
that.
tested us.
Yep.
Does PCC pass the Bechdel test?
We do. I'd like to think that we do, most of the time. All right, guys, I've got we're going to do Cringe of the Day because Cringe of the Day today is particularly interesting. So do you remember in 2020 when the estate of Tom Petty said that they do not want Trump using his music for a, quote, campaign of hate? You know, a lot of artists did this. A lot of artists were like, look, you're an evil alt-right fascist. We don't want you using our pop culture, our iconic pop culture music in your rallies.
Lawsuits for copyright infringement and everything.
So you know, apparently Lara Trump just doesn't care because she recorded a cover of the song "Won't Back Down," and I want to play.
It's interesting.
We'll go with that.
You make
right?
up your own mind. We'll play it for you. You make up your mind. Do you like it?
I find this version to be the one that they should hear. Let us know if you guys think this is cringe.
Start by saying that I am not a professional singer. I'm not seeking this as a career. I have always loved music. I've played the piano my whole life, and I got an opportunity to record a cover.
What does that mean? Did the music recording fairy stop by her? Like some producer was like, "Would you like to record this song?"
Tom Petty's "I Won't Back Down," and I said, "Who would turn this down if you get an opportunity?"
And why that song specifically? They're like, "Look, you can't do any of the other ones, but we'll let you do this one,
and we'll pay for the billboard."
She's like, "Look,
to promote it."
She's like, "I really want to do Free Fallin'." They're like, "No, you can't do Free Fallin'. You can't do that. Sorry."
She wants to do
I'm
like
sure
Snow
I'll get
Patrol.
A lot of critique from all the haters out there of my voice and my singing ability. I'm great on a karaoke stage after people have had a couple of drinks, but I'm very proud.
That's not
of
usually
what I've done,
like Taylor Swift doesn't get to use that as a barrier of entry. She's like, look, the first few songs are rough, but once you have a couple of cocktails, should have said no sounds fantastic. Like she doesn't get to say that.
A great track, and it's a new spin on a song that so many people know. So really excited that it comes out officially today here in America.
Well, you have to sing us a line here on Aaron. Come on.
I'll do my best without any music.
She's
or
evil
anything,
for that
okay?
one.
Yeah.
That reporter.
Well, I won't back down. No, I won't back down. You can stand me up at the gates of hell, but I won't back down. And there's more to come.
Okay, chat, what say you? Look.
Okay, wait. Play the other one of her. There's like a video of her recording it in the studio.
Well, I won't back down. No, I won't back down. You can stand
those key
me
changes.
up at the gates of hell, but I won't back down. No, I'll stand my ground. Won't be turned around.
She was born in North Carolina.
Oh, okay.
So
So she's not faking the accent.
She's not faking the accent. She was born in North Carolina.
She doesn't speak with one. So she had a billboard to promote this single, and it got censored. It was a Times Square billboard, and they said they couldn't put her name on it because her last name is Trump, and they wouldn't even put the name of the song on it for fear of probably legal action from Tom Petty's estate.
Is she gonna get sued?
I don't know.
It says the company TSX Entertainment suggested that they could put Lara, but omit Trump in the text of the billboard, citing that Trump is an issue, according to emails obtained by Breitbart News. There's a $20 one there from Leonardo DiCaprio.
Should have done Petty's song "Girl on LSD." I was in love with a girl on LSD. She'd see things I'd never see. She broadened her perspective. Then I got more selective. Was in love with a girl on LSD.
Should have done that one. Let's get to the point. See, the thing is, I don't do karaoke, and I would never expect anyone to...
Have you ever done karaoke?
No, not me.
I haven't either. Haven't really had the opportunity.
It says producer at First Class Records, LJ Fino, told Breitbart News the action represents a clear attempt to stifle and limit expression of freedom of speech, which is the bedrock of music. See, now that's interesting because I still want to know whether she got permission to use this song because of the family's maybe it's because it's her and not him.
I think what she was trying to do is respond to that original lawsuit and make a version of it that can be played at Trump campaigns in 2024?
Could be. Says,
Trump rallies, I mean.
Says, I'm deeply concerned about the decision by TSX Entertainment to exclude Lara's name from the billboard, from her own billboard. That is insane. I mean, they don't have to rent you the space,
It's literally just a random picture of Lara Trump on a horse with no context.
They're just we're the marketing isn't marketing. That's the problem. There's a clear attempt to stifle and limit the expression of freedom of speech, the bedrock of music. It's crucial that entertainment corporations leave political bias out of their decision-making process. Otherwise, I believe they are digging their own grave.
Well, I mean, technically, the people who own the billboard space are in charge of who gets to... to show things on it, right? So
it's well, that's what I'm saying, right? They have the right to do that, but do you really want to limit the amount of reach you have? But they don't need people who, especially the Trump family, which is so divisive to so many people. If the idea here is that they're limiting just
Trump is the king of NYC. That is his city. It belongs to him, and he should be able to do whatever he wants with it.
Yeah. So we got some people in the chat. They're saying, just listen to her song. It's not bad, not great either. Just an okay song. I was interested by the chat.
I would never listen to it on my own time.
We would rather listen to Trump AI.
Trump singing Lana Del Rey is better than that.
What do you think? Why do you think it is that so many people I really do want to know what does that mean? I was approached to cover this song.
I got the opportunity. I think she just
I guess she chose that song. I mean, if she chose that song, then I would rather she tell us look, this song means a lot to me. I care a lot about this song and its message, and I wanted a chance to record it. But it sounds like, the music producer fairy just dropped down before her and decided to do this. Maybe she'll do a song with Lil Tay next.
Oh, that would be interesting. I think that we should see some AI covers in Lara's voice singing Lana Del Rey songs. It'll be Lara Del Rey.
That's perfect.
Lara Del Rey and Donald Del Rey.
Yeah. So I did like this insult that said, you get sued for it, your pockets sound deep, which just sounds like something like when Brooke Hogan made her own music and you're it's because you're a famous person from a famous dad with a famous dad. Otherwise you wouldn't be making music at all, most likely.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's is there a song you would like to hear a Trump cover?
I'm only interested in Donald Trump getting a singing career. Maybe he should sing Rich Men North of Richmond.
And actually have to learn the words this time.
Yeah.
That would be good. Do you think I bet you the other Trumps do good at karaoke. I bet you they're karaoke people when they go to rich person karaoke.
Or Barron. I don't even know what Barron's voice sounds like.
What do you think he listens to?
Maybe he's one of those people that just turns on lo-fi
Spotify?
beats.
Yeah.
Lo-fi beats to chill and study to in the White House.
Maybe. They got their own lo-fi channel at the White House. That'd be great.
Lo-fi beats to chill and sign bills to.
I would totally listen to that one. It's really funny because Sky News, which if I remember correctly, Sky News is actually fairly...
It's right wing.
Yeah, right? So, some people...
That reporter did her so dirty, though.
Making her sing
You have
live.
to sing us a line on air, Lara. She just knew that would go viral.
Yeah. I'm not... and so, chat, can she get sued for this? I mean,
You can't get sued for covering a song that's clearly under fair use.
But she couldn't sell it, right? She'd have to... Would she be able to sell it? I don't know.
No, I mean, if you're allowed to make money off of streaming a cover of a song, then of course yeah, she can make money off of it.
Oh, all right. Well, we'll have to listen to it. Oh, they're saying Baron maybe listens to the opera.
You think?
Maybe. Like that makes
He's
him
been raised on only classical music.
That makes him no, because he listens to Taylor Swift, as we know, in the car with his dad. But it makes
I'm just
you
picturing like pregnant Melania holding up like headphones to her belly, playing Mozart to Baron.
And she's just like, what did Trump listen to? He liked rock music though. Like he's always looking to use rock artists for his
I remember
rallies.
when he was on the Nelk Boys podcast, they asked him like, what's the jam that like what's your go-to jam at the party? Like if you're on Aux, if you're on Aux, Duty, what do you play? What's your go-to jam at the party? And now I can't remember what it was that he said.
What does can you imagine Donald Trump being given the auxiliary cord? First of all, that wouldn't even work anymore because phones don't have headphone jacks anymore. So he would have to
he toggles the Bluetooth,
the Bluetooth
and has
to his phone.
Troubleshoot it.
He wouldn't be allowed because I bet you he wouldn't be allowed because his phone would have to be super protected.
True.
So they're not putting him on open networks where he can get hacked and they can find all of his. You know what I want to see more than anything? I want to see Donald Trump's Twitter drafts.
Does he have any?
I want to see.
I think he just dictates to a scribe.
I like the idea that he's just got just some of the most insane insults we've never got to see, and they're just chilling in the because I just had to clear out my draft folder.
They're all on Truth Social.
Nobody uses it. All right, so it could become a song later. I don't know. I thought it was kind of cringy, but that's just me. I'm being judgmental.
More than kind of cringy, in my opinion.
I was being judgmental. All right, we got a cute of the day as well here, ladies and gentlemen. This is from Curtis Schultz. Says, "Pop culture crisis. Here is my sister's dogs, the noble Marty and the mischievous Tucker."
Cute. Marty looks like a Marty.
They're like inverted versions of each other.
Yeah. Interesting.
I like it. All right, let's go ahead and get started then. Mary, why don't you tell everyone what the hell is going on with all of the old people that now have to worry about Katy Perry?
Katy Perry has now been in multiple legal battles with elderly people over housing. She is trying to unhouse the elderly and infirm. And honestly, I'm surprised that it's taken this long for her to get called out. So in this instance, it is with an old man, an 84-year-old man with dementia. She purchased his dream home from him. It's in Santa Barbara, I believe, right?
Yes.
For $15 million. And then 2 days later, when he comes out of the fog of recovering from back surgery,
he was on drugs. He also had Huntington's disease.
Yes, he has Huntington disease, and he has dementia as a result of that. 2 days later, he decides he made a terrible mistake, and then he tries to go back on the contract.
Yes.
And get rid of it. But this is ensued in now 3-year-long legal battle with Katy Perry.
The name of the act is the Protecting Elderly Realty for Retirement Act.
What has come out of this is now an act that is backed by many local and bipartisan politicians, called the Katy Perry Act. It says this addresses the risks of elder financial abuse, especially as it relates to property and real estate sales and transfers. It establishes a 72-hour cool-down period during which either party involved in a contract for conveyance of a personal residence, in which one party is over the age of 75, can rescind the agreement without penalty, which would have saved this man's home. And he is now dying, and his son put out an article in the Federalist titled, "Katy Perry is fighting in court to kick my dying father out of his dream home. During a time when I should be cherishing my remaining moments with my dad, I find myself entangled in a fight against Katy Perry's swarm of lawyers." So I'm on his side. Yeah. Honestly, I thought that she had made this big exit from Hollywood and she was gonna go live her humble life in Kentucky.
of ruining the last days of old people.
Yeah, but I mean, I'd already heard about this original lawsuit that she was in.
The second one
with elderly nuns. It's almost comically villainous. Nun involved in Katy Perry convent lawsuit collapses and dies in court.
This is from when, 2018?
Yeah, this happened in 2018.
She's just crossing off all the old people in the world on
Yeah.
those. She's like, look, I got a call from Bill Gates. He said the world has too many people, and I got to take him out, she says.
It's insane. So this nun named Sister Catherine Rose Holtzman and the Sisters of the Most Holy and Immaculate Heart of the Blessed Virgin Mary sold an estate to Dana Hollister, and then the Archdiocese of Los Angeles argued these nuns did not have a right to sell the estate, and then they wanted to sell it to none other than Katy Perry. So that ensued a whole other legal battle, and toward the end of it, this poor elderly nun literally dropped dead in court at a hearing for it. And she basically said, Katy Perry, please stop pursuing this purchase. At Katy Perry's level.
And she's like, I will not.
You can have anything you want if you're that rich, but you just have to take something from someone for the sheer thrill of it. She said, it's not doing anyone any good except hurting a lot of people. She also said, Katy Perry represents everything we don't believe in. It would be a sin to sell to her. I agree. I'm with you, sister. R.I.P.
Let's address the complaint, because people are asking, like, is the guy dying? So he had a 6-hour spinal surgery on July 10th, 2020, and 4 days before, Perry's agent presented him with a contract to sell his home. His agent shouldn't have done that.
No.
No.
It says Huntington's disease. He's been battling it since 2015. His symptoms include dementia. His mind is gone at this point. And his son said it is in this vulnerable state that he found himself ensnared in a heart-wrenching real estate contract that would soon pit our family against international pop star Catherine Elizabeth Hudson, whose stage name is Katy Perry. So, while experiencing extreme pain after a back surgery and not in the right state of mind, he made this choice. 2 days later, realized it was a mistake, and she was ruthless. She had to have it.
Like Courier in the chat says, she's a California girl. She's undeniable.
What is it, like the 15th house that she has?
She probably sent him a picture.
How many houses does she have? Why does it have to be that one?
She probably sent him a picture with Daisy Dukes and bikinis on top.
I thought she was no longer a California girl. I thought she was a Kentucky girl. I'm very confused.
Yeah, well, Dollclick in the chat says, I'm so confused. We're confused too. We just know that old people keep having their lives ruined around Katy Perry.
This says, my father wrote an email to Katy Perry's agents explaining the circumstances under which he had signed the contract. Brushing aside my father's plea, his acknowledgement of his vulnerability, and his stated inability to properly consent at the time of signing, Katy Perry didn't care. Instead, she demanded the sale of the property and threatened to sue if my father did not comply. This is a pattern of behavior. And I think that they're totally justified.
She gets like
I hope that he keeps his home.
She gets like a pass socially because people are like, oh, poor old rich dude, nobody cares. Like, it's not like
True, and they also hate the Catholic Church, so if some poor old nun is involved in another one of these legal battles, they're gonna applaud her for that too. Like, all of the comments I'm seeing about this are praising her. Yep. Like, she's mothering right now. But I mean, I think that this is a good idea. Protect the vulnerable from greedy celebrities.
I don't have Huntington's disease, but I did my fair share of drugs back in the day.
Were you in any state to sign a contract for millions of dollars?
I mean, here's the thing. If the guy's not using them on a regular basis, then they're going to hit him a lot harder. But if you go on like a severe bender, you shouldn't be looking at any type. It's kind of like a weird version of how they say, like, don't make plans when you're in a good mood, because then eventually the plans will come around and you're like no longer in that good mood, so you don't want to do them anymore. It's like, don't make that sale right then and there. Say, I'll look it over in a few days. Don't sign that contract right then and there after popping 2 Oxycontin. That's not the greatest idea. And like you said, she benefits from the public perception being that she's the good guy in this. But it is funny that lawmakers have had to be brought in to save us.
Yes. So in this article, he said, I call upon California and all other state legislatures around the country to pass the Perry Act. Thank you. not be elderly, but you are infirm.
The crisis party hits harder when you don't feel well.
Yeah.
It does.
Sounds louder.
It does. Yeah, that's literally what it is.
When you have a head cold.
It's like, now I feel bad for everybody I've sat in. It's kind of my penance I think I'm paying for all the people I've sat in that chair and made them like sit right next to a speaker as it explodes.
Mm-hmm. Let us treat our elders with the same courtesy and respect we hope to receive when we too are at the end of our lives.
Yeah.
By protecting our elders and cherishing their contributions, we sow the seeds of a compassionate society for their grandchildren and our own. He also said he doesn't want his father to be remembered as Katy Perry's latest victim. Who's next? I'm sure there are other stories like this. I mean, similar to Oprah buying up all that land in Maui. There's some fishy stuff going on.
I like the idea that she goes through she trolls the nursing homes, like the high-end nursing homes.
She's trying to buy out the nursing homes. She's coming there in a bulldozer. She's literally the evil real estate developer in every movie.
She's just evil, like Perry. It's called like Katy Perry Development, and it's an evil corporation that's out to get you.
She even just looks evil.
She does. Like, we didn't have a hard time finding pictures of her looking evil. Well, look, first
she looks like one of the
She kisses a contestant on a game show, even though he's never kissed a woman before. Does the woman know no boundaries?
That was really weird. Yeah.
And
remember, if she were a man,
exactly,
and did that to a woman, that would not be.
And then I wonder if poor Orlando Bloom's like, look, I got nothing to do with this. I got my own money. I buy my own properties, preferably from people in their 30s and 40s. I don't buy property from people in their 70s and their 80s. Right?
She was trying to get a deal. She wanted to swindle him. Probably bought it for way less than it's worth.
No. She bought it at a markup.
Oh, okay.
No, she bought it at a markup. She paid more for it.
I think what she's trying to do is put it up on Airbnb like Gwyneth Paltrow did with her Montecito property.
Yeah.
Then get a brand deal with Airbnb. Spend a day with Katy Perry and Orlando Bloom.
And like she leaves the pictures of the old guy up just to taunt him, like the old guy with his family. It says she's willing to pay $3.75 million more than Mr. West got paid to purchase the house a few months earlier. So she overpaid for it. So maybe that's why she feels justified in doing so.
I don't know.
It just
seems sleazy to me.
I just assume that any contract signed by someone not of sound mind wouldn't be would be void anyways.
And they have proof of that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Also,
the chat. Okay, the chat's really funny. Chris Welch says she doesn't hold a candle to Tom Selleck and his reverse mortgage scam. Yes.
What was that?
As much as so you can see those if you watch any daytime television. There's always daytime television ads for Tom Selleck. Somebody would have to do a better job of explaining it. But I've always been told reverse mortgages are a scam. But he does these ads for them during the day all the time, and I'm like, man, I love those Jesse Stone movies, and I sure love Blue Bloods, and I love Magnum, but maybe you shouldn't be selling reverse mortgages. Though he is part of, nuns play part in one of the greatest memes that's ever been made that came from a Magnum PI episode. Have you ever seen that meme where it's like he's walking by and there's a nun up on a ladder fixing a window outside of a convent, and then he stops and he goes, "Nuns don't work on Sundays," and he drops to the ground and shoots her, and a gun falls out of her what habit, or what do they wear?
Yeah.
Nuns don't work on Sundays.
I just sent you a video, I think from the daughter-in-law of Carl Westcott. By the way, this guy is the founder of 1-800-Flowers.
Okay, guys, it is day one in court.
Here's what I'm wearing. Here's my outfit. Here's my court fit. She's doing a try-on haul.
She's getting her rightful inheritance.
Yes.
I don't care what anyone says.
Court and I are here to fight for justice for my father-in-law. And, we'll see what happens. And, oh my gosh, we are here, though, standing strong. We are not afraid. And we hope that justice will be served for my father-in-law, and he deserves it. He is an amazing man. He has done so many amazing things in his life, so many accomplishments.
If you've got flowers delivered to your spouse, you can thank him.
I mean, the list goes on and on. He doesn't deserve to be in this position, especially when he's on his deathbed. It is absolutely, heartless that he has to go through all this. So, it is trial day 1.
Hopefully he's blissfully unaware of all of this.
Is this just like is there other guys who are like, it's trial day 1? Like, I'm here at court. I've got on
Court
my
outfit. Get ready with me for court while I fight Katy Perry.
And then
for
she
my
posts the
inheritance.
picture with her next. Like how can I
Yes,
make
it says,
Katy Perry look rich? Oh, there's
How
a...
hideous can U.S. law be to name an act after someone before the verdict is declared? Moreover, so-called Westcott family are so dumb to abandon that old guy on his deathbed and seek clout by posting videos on social media. Katy Perry already won over these fake people.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe they have ulterior motives, but...
Maybe they're all bad people. How about that?
I think that the story of the nun collapsing in court doesn't get more, on the nose than that. Like, you just stress this woman out until she just died on the spot.
I mean, how much does Katy Perry actually know about what's going on with
Basically
these
murdered
things?
that woman.
How much does Katy
kidding.
Perry actually know what's going on with these things? I'm sure it's a lot of her lawyers are doing all of this, and she's not really all that heavily involved in it.
She knows what's going on, though, especially now that it's in the news.
Oh, just absolutely ridiculous. But it's I wonder
Just
how many...
the title, though.
How
It's
many
just so
celebrities-
perfect. Katy Perry is fighting to kick my dying father out of his dream home. I don't know. I just love how, salacious it all is.
I wonder if there's any other laws named after celebrities. Here's an article. It says 7 celebrities who inspired new laws. A proposed New Jersey law inspired by Snooki and her tanned brood from MTV aims to protect towns from the perils of playing host to reality TV shows. Snooki isn't the first celebrity to inspire changes in local judicial systems. Here's a look at 7 stars. So yeah, Tim Tebow. The Tim Tebow law, after the homeschooled football star, the legislation allows homeschoolers to participate in public school extracurricular activities they wouldn't otherwise have. Donda West. In 2007, after having what was supposed to be routine cosmetic surgery, I remember that.
Oh, yeah.
She was recuperating at home when she fell ill. Didn't some other Jackie O, just die, a celebrity named Jackie O, just die recently from plastic surgery? The surgeon who operated on her wasn't charged.
Was it the one who is the Kim Kardashian lookalike?
No, it wasn't her.
She died of plastic surgery.
This was a lady who said she was going in for a mommy makeover and died after the fact. Britney Spears, in 2008, a trip to the hospital for the pop star cost taxpayers $24,000 as the star's ambulance required motorcycle, helicopter, and patrol car escorts because of rabid photographers. The incident inspired legislation nicknamed the Britney Law, which requires photographers to remain at least 20 yards out of a so-called personal safety bubble or else forfeit all profits from the resulting photos.
Okay, that sounds like a good legislation.
Tom Cruise. In 2005, Tom Cruise reportedly bought a $200,000 ultrasound machine to monitor the progress of his unborn child with Katy Perry. The purchase drummed up juicy gossip and also inspired doctors to push for a bill dubbed the Tom Cruise Law, which would prevent those not in the medical profession from buying diagnostic ultrasound gadgets lest they unknowingly misuse the complicated technology. Well, that just sounds like government overreach. If you want to misuse your expensive $200,000 machine, you should be allowed to do that. I don't see how the government has any right to tell you that you can't do that.
I guess.
Plus, when you watch television shows that medical shows, that's real equipment. It's cheaper to use real equipment than it is to make fakes. So those are actually real machines.
I visited a hospital. This is totally unrelated. I visited a hospital that's a completely functional hospital if there were to be some kind of national emergency, but it's a prop hospital that is used for field trips for kids. So they put dummies in the hospital beds.
Oh, they're saying I said Katy Perry, not Katie Holmes for Tom Cruise.
Whoops.
Whoops! Sorry, I'm sick. I can blame it on being
Katy.
sick. Wrong Katy.
But yeah, they like put dummies in all of the hospital beds, but all of the medical equipment is real.
Yeah. Sonny Bono, who parlayed his successful music career into a political one, was a congressman from 95 to 98. As such, he was the original 12 sponsors of the Copyright Terms Extension Act, at which it extends copyright terms in the U.S. by 20 years. Jackie Coogan. So there's a bunch of them. That's crazy. Bunch of laws that have been done to prevent people from...
The Britney one is definitely necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
I didn't know about that.
All right, let's go to Super Chats, shall we?
Shane H. Wilder said, "Here's money. Don't die, Brett and Mary." We won't. Don't worry.
I'm good.
Well, I guess we're going to die someday, but not
Eventually.
anytime soon. Hiroshima Otaru said, "NFL hates their current fans."
We're going to talk about it, but it is interesting.
Do
Yeah, it is interesting. We were wrong that day. Like Kellen said, like the breakdown of demographics is almost split. It's like 47% female watch football.
Yeah, but I just assumed that would mean most of those women that watch football are the wives of men who also watch.
Could be true, but like, what is it with all of these like Fortune 500 companies or big organizations like the NFL that they're always looking for that mythical new audience, right? They need to reach a new audience, so then they end up watering down the product for the people that actually want it.
That's why the Bud Light controversy happened. They didn't like their own customer base.
Let's do one more, and then we will move on.
Ryan Moretti said, already read that one. Leonardo DiCaprio said, "Brett, whiskey and honey for the cough throat. The trick is to cough all over that mic, then put the foam over Mary's mic for tomorrow. Share the love." No thanks. Keep your distance, Brett.
Keeping my distance.
You gonna try the whiskey cure?
I can't do the whiskey part of it, but
Just honey.
I had
tea.
I had Theraflu last night in tea.
Sounds awful.
It was suitably disgusting, but actually helped for a little bit. But it's not exactly doing so today. But let's hold off on the rest and let's come back after the fact, because guys, predictable as it may be, the fans of the NFL are no longer enamored with the relationship between Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift.
The Swifties are still loving it.
Yes.
They're eating it all up. But
Yeah.
the NFL fans are already tired of it, and it hasn't even been that long.
Yeah,
They keep camera switching over to the box where she's at the Chiefs game and mentioning her the entire time, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, who cares? I'm watching a football game.
Yes.
Not here to watch a Taylor Swift concert."
Like, a Swiftie goes to a Taylor Swift concert to escape their everyday life. A football fan watches football to escape their everyday life. It's kind of in a lot
Why
of
do
ways,
those things need to mix?
It's, you know what it is? They're like, look, they didn't have it when we tried to do the kneeling and when we put like the Black Lives Matter signs at the end of the stadium. Like, we made it political. Everyone hated it. Now we're going to make it pop culture and everyone's going to hate it still.
Better than social justice.
Slightly better, right?
So recently, an ad for Taylor Swift's tour concert movie was played on the Jumbotron at the MetLife Stadium, and the entire crowd booed it.
Here we go.
It's the voice of the people.
Sucked it.
So they're already tired of it.
Yeah.
I mean, this wasn't for the NFL fan base. It was for...
No, it's for the phantom audience of people. They want to... I think my favorite was one that says like obsessed with Taylor Swift's boyfriend's football team, and it was like the Chiefs logo.
Yeah, she invited Sabrina Carpenter to one of the Chiefs games, and she just wore a shirt that said "Sports Watcher." Like, this is not...
I hate that stuff. I don't like it. There's also plenty of people like in the pop culture sphere who, like, anytime sports get brought up, they denigrate it and they call it sports ball, which is designed to be like, my interest is deep and meaningful and yours is not.
Wait, where's that coming from? Are we able to hear that, or are you guys able?
Are you guys able to hear that? But
do we just sound crazy right now?
Could be. But the point is that it's a lot of times what it is like they're denigrating your interest, right? They're saying like what you like is stupid and shallow, what I like is deep and meaningful.
More so, what's annoying about this is just the fact that it's inescapable, and the NFL is pushing this from the top down onto the fans. They changed their Instagram bio, their Twitter bio, and they've posted about Taylor Swift at this point. The NFL changed its Instagram bio to "Chiefs are 2-0 as Swifties." Yeah, and then they changed their Twitter bio to "We had the best day with you today," and then changed their header to images of Taylor Swift.
Like, it's really try hard.
It is, and it comes off as phony and a psyop to get
make more money.
Swifties to buy merch, not necessarily to watch.
Yeah,
the
not
game.
even to get them to stick around,
Yeah.
but to just buy merch once
For
and
a few
it's-
months,
yeah.
however long they stay together. Then they'll boycott it as soon as they break up.
Yes.
So there are some interesting conspiracy theories going around about their relationship.
These are not the apparently right now. House and Habit is doing like a deep
She thinks this is like a depopulation campaign coming from Bill Gates or something.
I think she's mentioned that like she went out to eat with Bill Clinton recently or something like that.
What?
I'm sure she will release a lot later. But here's some of the more tame conspiracy theories.
Taylor Swift is trying to tank the Chiefs to help the Eagles. She is known as an Eagles fan before this. Taylor Swift is actually trying to date Travis Kelce's brother, Jason, who is an Eagle.
Maybe that's what it is. She's just trying.
That would be especially evil.
Yeah, that would not be cool if she's like so or no, wait, who did I watch something? Okay, no, I watched a thing recently where Theo Vaughn was doing one of his podcasts with Bobby Lee or whatever, and he talks about how one time he got like a message, like Bobby's like he would get messages on Hinge about like, can I get Theo Vaughn's number? And can you imagine?
That must hurt.
That's just rough, man. That's rough. That would be like hey Brett, can I just get Phil's number?
I don't think this one is true. I saw a video of so she showed up to this latest Chiefs game with like a gaggle of celebrity friends: Hugh Jackman, Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, Sophie Turner, still milking that friendship with her ex-boyfriend's now ex-wife because the headlines love it. You think that it's also a psyop?
In the chat, Serial Killer says you got to do drug and alcohol ads to date Taylor. Yes, you have to do Pfizer ads and Bud Light ads.
Specifically those.
Yes.
Taylor Swift wanted to outshine Kim Kardashian's announcement that Usher was this year's Super Bowl performer. She already turned down the Super Bowl, though.
Yes.
So I don't believe that one.
There was this one from the NFL. It says, that Sunday night football feeling, and the comments are not kind.
What are they saying?
It says, I swear no one gives an F. Never thought I'd miss Jackson Mahomes posts. Wait, there was some other releases. What if all we just unfollow? Like, what if we all just unfollow? Are those posts gonna flood my feed every Sunday now? I can't take another week of this shit, man. Jets fans here, flex us out prime time, please. This is embarrassing on many levels. Most blatantly fake relationship staged for views.
You're just dividing people.
Yeah.
Rather than bringing the NFL fans and the Swifties together, you're making them hate each other.
Yep. But it makes the NFL a ton of money.
And this one Instagram video is an especially compelling theory about their relationship. That actually, Travis is meant for a relationship where he's the beta male. he takes the back seat and lets her be the star.
Oh, did I lose that video already? I think I lost that video already.
Oh, that's fine. I'll send it to you.
Resend it to me.
But specifically, it's because of how his position works. I don't know anything about football.
Oh, no, here, I got it.
Seemingly, she doesn't
I got
either.
it. Here we go.
Versus the Jets. And no, that is not some off-brand production of West Side Story. It was an NFL football game. Because why? Travis Kelce was playing Taylor Swift's boyfriend. Now, I watched Taylor arrive at the game with Ryan Reynolds, Blake Lively, Hugh Jackman, Sophie Turner. She's suddenly become a safe haven for impending divorcees, and I'm here for it. But the other thing
I'm
I
here
realized
for
while
it.
Women are so annoying sometimes, Mary. I'm sorry.
makes him uniquely perfect to be Taylor Swift's boyfriend. Hear me out. Travis Kelce is a tight end. His job is to, I think, receive the ball from the quarterback and score. Now, you would argue that the scoring part is the most important thing, but no, who gets all the glory? The quarterback. Travis is totally comfortable playing second fiddle in that relationship. Who's the quarterback in his relationship with Taylor Swift? Obviously Taylor. So he is secure enough as a tight end, secure enough in his job to receive that ball to score and barely get a mention, as what is happening with him being with Taylor Swift. Therefore, uniquely positioned to be in that relationship. Am I obsessed? Yes. Do I apologize? No. I warned you who I was going to become. Today,
I'm sure Ryan Reynolds takes a particular offense to being said that he's close to divorce.
Oh no, she was talking about just Sophie Turner.
Yeah, but she mentioned a
right?
bunch of people. She said a safe haven for people with
Who
with
else has
impending
she been
divorce.
hanging out with who's a divorcee?
But she said her. I don't remember who the other person was. Point is, it is funny when people from like outside interests come into your space and like mold it around what you like.
If you've dated Taylor Swift before, do not let your wife within 100-mile radius of Taylor Swift. Because she's gonna plant the seeds. You know what I mean? She's gonna plant the seeds of discord, and before you know it, she'll be leaving you for her.
And also, there was the podcast that got a bunch of heat for the sex tape jokes.
There's a Barstool host
one.
that said he won't believe the Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift relationship is genuine until he sees a sex tape, and this enraged the Swifties.
Oh, this is an interesting comment from Introverted Banshee. Says, when the Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce stuff started, I thought it was cute and imagined teen girls spending more time with their dads. But now as a Chiefs fan, it's just obnoxious.
Mm-hmm. That's where everyone's at, it seems.
All right, here we go.
You know what? All right, I'll say this. If Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift release a sex video, I'll consummate this.
First of all, who calls it a sex video? It's a sex tape. It's not called a sex video. It's just weird.
This
the footage.
Relationship and be like, fine, you guys can have sex. You can be boyfriend, girlfriend. I don't buy it until I see some dick in vagina.
Do you think is she?
I'm saying that right now.
Is she pregnant?
P&V.
I haven't seen her drinking yet.
This is kind of try hard.
Yeah.
A tad.
I saw her drinking some juice.
P&V, otherwise it's not really.
Drinking some juice.
Should we demand it?
I want to see.
I want to see P&V. I want to see insertion.
I want to see P&A.
P&A or P&V or P&M.
Yeah,
I'll take
P&M.
P&M.
P&M's good.
I'll take P. I'll even take H on P.
Hand?
Yeah, I'll take a hand job.
Yeah,
I'll see a hand job. That's fine. Give us a Lauren Bobbitt.
That was the worst.
Bobert.
Yeah.
Give us a Lauren Boebert, and I will be like, you know,
What laws are going to be enacted for Lauren Boebert? That's what I want to know. What movie theater decency laws will be put into place called the Lauren Boebert Act?
Why do we live in a world where Lauren Boebert is a topic of discussion on a Barstool podcast?
I know, right?
But these two lovebirds, they can't get their hands off each other. It's fine. Until that happens, I think it's fake, and I think it's for clicks, and I think Taylor Swift is using the NFL to try to make her star bigger.
That just doesn't make sense. Okay, then there was also this meme in the Breitbart article posted by Nick Adams. It says, foolish beta male and gold-digging Marxist. How, okay, maybe she's a Marxist, maybe he's a beta male. How is she a gold digger? She's like, what, 100 times his net worth or more?
I also like the.
She's almost a billionaire at this point.
It also says Nick Adams. I don't know who Nick Adams is. Do you know who he is?
No.
Okay.
He's an alpha male, though, apparently.
It says so right there.
Says so right
the
in his
description.
screen name, so you know that he's an alpha male and that Travis Kelce is a beta. You know that.
And yeah,
Me, every time they mention Taylor Swift.
Taylor is in the house.
That's how our chat feels right now. It's just it is weird that it's gone so far beyond just the NFL. It's all over TMZ. It's all over every mainstream publication. And House and Habit was talking about, look, she's getting people to register to vote. It's crazy. Like they also pointed out, like they think they'll want to put her behind like somebody like Gavin Newsom, like to back somebody like Gavin Newsom.
Weird. I had more high hopes for her political influence when she was dating Maddie Healy.
Yeah.
Who is I guess a post-liberal.
Yeah. But they also mentioned how, like, I remember this thing, like, because, like, Gavin Newsom's wife, Jennifer Siebels Newsom, they said she testified at the Manson trial, even though...
No, she testified
at the Harvey
Weinstein
trial, and said that it was basically to, like, she said, like, it was to reframe her as a victim rather than, like...
No, because that's insane. Her testimony said that she pretended to enjoy it to make it end faster. In what way would that signal to another person that you do not consent?
But they're saying that she testified to reframe her as a victim, so when Newsom runs.
Yeah, I would believe it.
Yeah.
And by the way, that is related to our poll today. Who is the worst, mainstream celebrities, influencers, or politicians?
Right now, politicians are in the lead with 47%. 30% say influencers, and 22% say mainstream celebrities. Yep. In the chat, Derp Caprio says, it's okay, Brett. We realize it hurts your fifis when the chat gets soured on Swift every day. So now you have to overcompensate to show how unfazed you are. No, I'm addressing it. It does.
We don't talk about Taylor Swift every day.
I think we did 2 days last night without mentioning it. There'll be a time when she stops touring where she'll be relevant, but she won't be as relevant. It's like when people were saying that about Barbie. Like you're going to talk about it forever and ever and ever.
It seemed like it was
like it's never
the
going
most
to end.
important
But I think
thing in
that's
the
part
world.
of doing a show every day rather than
it was like
3 days a week.
Talking about Ezra Miller or talking about the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial. Like it seemed so relevant at the time, and then the second it was over, it was like memory hold. No one remembered it ever happened.
Yeah.
One day we'll be like, remember when Taylor Swift was dating that NFL player?
Yeah.
Wow, it feels like it happened a million years ago. Hopefully this will all be a distant memory.
And to finish it off, ladies and gentlemen, we do have a song to play.
Just another reason why AI is actually good.
All right, here we go.
You stole my heart, you intercepted it. Now you're gone, have to accept it. Did I meet your mom too soon? Or did I do what I always do? Yeah, we made it to the 50, and then you kissed me. We made it to the 40, a new love story. We made it to the 30, and you did me dirty right then. You put the end in tight end, and as I touched down, just like you in a game, I'm in another town, and nothing feels the same. Wish I could go back when we met that day. Oh, whoa, and throw a flag on the plane.
That's beautiful. Now I want her to record it for real.
BC says, I will unsub if you don't make this stop.
Whoever wrote those lyrics is genuinely clever. AI couldn't have done that. I love it.
It made me laugh. All
Also,
right.
wait, we didn't talk about Taylor yesterday.
I don't know.
For
We didn't
example?
Wednesday and Thursday last week because we saved it for Friday with Andrea.
Boom.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to Super Chats. Hiroshima Otaru said, the crisis meter is developmentally delayed.
Yeah, it is today.
I don't know.
Yep.
Shane H. Wilder said, wait, the crisis meter is late. Do we need to buy it a pregnancy test?
No, it seems fine now.
And then he said, I nearly forgot. It's October 3rd. If you know, you know. Hint, you go, Glen Coco. Yeah, it's Mean Girls Day. Do you know why?
Why?
It's because Lindsay Lohan like asks the guy she likes in the movie like what day it is, and he's like, it's October 3rd.
That's clever. I mean, that's a sign of just how deep culture, like movies, like permeate
Only
the
back
culture.
then.
Yeah.
No one remembers movies like that from these days.
No. It's like when they remember the date from Back to the Future.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gavitron, or sorry, I already read that one.
Somebody says, is this AI? Yes, that song was AI.
Yeah. High Voltage 75 said, I saw a headline today that said yelling at your kids is just as harmful as physical or sexual abuse. Agree or disagree?
What?
I mean, it's bad. I wouldn't say it's as bad.
They're saying that yelling at your kid, like, look, you first of all, you're not preparing them for any type of real world if you ignore the fact that people lose their cool and raise their voice. That's a thing. It happens.
I mean, you shouldn't like plan on yelling at them.
No,
at least,
nobody
happen.
outside of a sociopath does that.
There is a big, like, what do you think of the parenting trends changing? Like, I feel like in the 2000s, there was this, like, in pop culture, it was acceptable to be like, haha, I hate my kids. I'm a wine mom. You know, like, I lock myself in the bathroom and drink wine to get away from my kids. They're
I hate
awful.
that. Well, because now they're wine aunts.
That's
and it's
awful. But
now
then
it's about
like,
wine aunts that don't want to have kids
it
at all.
kind of swung back into the opposite trend where you have to do gentle parenting, which for a lot of people means you can just never discipline your kids for anything, and everything they do is
they're literally
acceptable.
saying in this thing. He's saying in this thing that you that yelling at your kids is the same as physical or sexual abuse. That's insane.
It's not the same thing.
It's not the same thing.
But I don't think it's a good thing. Anyway, Carnell said, Mary, does Tom Brady, Will Smith, and Joe Biden also get a pass for kissing their next of kin on the lips? Inquiring minds want to know. What was it about Tom Brady and Will Smith?
I don't know. I don't remember any of those. What was the Joe Biden one?
Well, Joe Biden is just creepy in general with kids.
Yeah.
Oh, Tom Brady had his son in his lap.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what Will Smith did. Yeah, I think those are weird. I think it's because Joe Biden has a track record and, you know, it's up to everyone's interpretation, like what they think is normal.
Let's do one more from Shane H. Wilder.
Her singing isn't great, but I've heard worse. Let's see how it sounds after they auto-tune it to Ish. But they already did. That was like
in the second one. No, I don't think so.
In the produced version, it was auto-tuned.
It would get more it would end up getting overproduced again later.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and move on. Let's go ahead. Tell us what's going on with this op-ed.
Yeah, there's been an op-ed released in the Daily Mail by Graham Linehan. He's an activist but former TV writer who has been dragged in the media a lot for speaking out against trans ideology. And he wrote this article titled, "The World Should Remember Daniel Radcliffe, Emma Watson, and Rupert Grint as arrogant, ungrateful cowards for turning on J.K. Rowling in the trans row." So basically, he brought up a lot of different examples. Most of this article is not about J.K. Rowling, but he's essentially saying, you know, these actors haven't really done anything notable with their lives since they were in Harry Potter, when they were child actors. This is how they got their platform, how they got all their money and all of their fame and influence that they now use to push this ideology and condemn the woman who gave them.
I mean, it's fair to point. I mean, it's not really the point of what he's talking about. Like, but the idea that you're going to be in a franchise as big as that again, outside of, I guess, maybe Marvel.
Okay, I get that it kind of...
Like, what else would they have done outside of being in literally the biggest...
It sets you up for failure when the biggest thing you did was when you were 12 years old.
But they absolutely
But they really
did.
haven't done anything notable with their careers.
I mean, she became the face.
Activism.
She was the face of Burberry. She was a Disney.
Emma Watson.
Yeah, she was the face of Burberry. She was a Disney princess.
Yeah.
She was plenty successful. Rupert Grint got famous for like being like kind of a meme. He bought an ice cream truck and then never did anything again. He's acted in a few things since then.
So the meme is that he hasn't done anything.
And I know, yes. Okay, so that's interesting.
But
yeah,
it says,
so not Yochi says Rupert Grint's show on Apple TV is really good. I have heard that. I don't remember what it's called, but I have heard people say that it's actually quite good. He got compared to like Giovanni Ribisi.
One tweet said Daniel Radcliffe's first professional gig after Harry Potter was in Equinus, a stage play in which his character screws a horse. That is to say, a play where he stripped on stage and simulated sex with a horse in front of a live audience. So you could say that's a downgrade for his career.
It always seemed to me that he wanted to be seen as like an art nerd.
Yeah.
With his picks.
Maybe.
I saw Guns Akimbo.
I mean, he addresses the gaslighting that the media does whenever you talk about an issue like this. He said, no matter how many times I explained, the same question kept coming over and over. Why do you care so much? All I could say was, why do you not? We address that a lot. It's like every time that you talk about something, people will gaslight you. Like, why do you care so much? When they're the ones who care so much and will go to any length to destroy your career over it, as has happened to this guy. In fact, he just lost his TV agent recently, like in the past week, because he called out David Tennant, called him a groomer, because his child is reportedly a non-binary person. I don't know how old this kid is, but that's obviously something that has been pushed on that kid, not something they decided on their own. And he lost his agency for that because it was the same one David Tennant was under.
It's at the end of the day, it's sad to me that loyalty is not more of a thing in this age, right? Other actors and like all the older actors, the more established actors, a lot of them threw their weight behind Rowling. At the very least, said she's entitled to her opinions, and that's it. Mm-hmm. Like, you don't need to
Well, it's ironic. The less relevant actors from Harry Potter
The girl
were the
who
ones
played
who defended
the girl who played Ginny, and I believe the girl who played Luna
Yes.
were both fairly like, look, she's allowed to have her opinions, whatever.
Also,
Also women, not men. I noticed not throwing their weight behind her.
Who played Draco Malfoy?
Tom Felton.
He defended her as well.
Like in a more general sense, right? But but you're right. It's the ones who are less famous and who seemingly
Who were more grateful.
Yeah, for
It's
what they
ironic.
had.
This says, the intercession of the most famous children's writer in the world in the trans debate was a moment when I thought the argument would shift decisively in my direction.
That was never going to happen.
Yeah, like, if she's so accepted by the entertainment industry because of what she contributed, then wouldn't she be listened to? But that wasn't the case.
She's a fascinating case because she's a lot like a Mel Gibson, she's just got so many hooks in the industry that they put up with her. They allow her to exist. They get like Harry Potter will always be too profitable for Warner Brothers to ever cut.
They're gonna keep merchandising it.
They're
gonna
already
keep
working on the new show.
developing video games.
They're
and
already working on the new
TV show.
And it's not just that; it's the theme park. It's what they do for like Universal or whatever.
They
right?
want to
like,
keep selling that butter beer.
And this is a lot of times I consider J.K. Rowling to be kind of she's your litmus test for who is terminally online. Because there are plenty of regular wine moms who take their kids to Harry Potter World, who take their kids to see Platform 9 3/4, who love Harry Potter, who don't know or at least don't care enough about this to pretend like they're going to be outraged. And if the comments get made in their comment section, why would you support such an awful person? They either just won't address it or they'll say like, look, not my fight.
There are so many people talking about the way that social dynamics have changed since wokeness took over. Like, you have to test the waters with every new person or friend group that you meet to see like what they will allow you to say about your beliefs. And then once you kind of get the sense that you both are on the same page, then you have this sigh of relief because they aren't going to drop you instantly.
Who? Say it again now.
Like in any social situation, if you meet someone from your church or whatever, like you need to test if you guys are on the same page about like the most sane issues. Like, you know, maybe it's a little bit too far when they're pushing it on the kids in school. And then you're both like, thank God you said that because now I'm safe. Like, I don't think that the SJWs realize how threatening they are in social situations.
Like, can I admit that stuff that actually bums me out?
Yes, it should.
Like, there are times where like I realize that somebody like at least sees the world a little bit similar to me, and I get excited, and it makes me sad that I
not
get excited
because you want confirmation bias, but because you want to be safe to voice your real opinions around someone you call a friend. Like, personally,
it bums me out.
I would have zero problem with being friends with anybody.
Exactly.
Anyone can have their own beliefs, even the ones I care the most about. Like abortion, for instance, I wouldn't care one bit if my friend is pro-choice. We can talk about it. But if we can't talk about it, we can't be friends. It's always the other way around. They're not willing to be friends with or associate with you.
A lot of the people, like, it was only a couple of them, but the problem is like it was only a couple of them. They were close friends that kind of cut ties with me when I came out here to work, and I never unfollowed them from any social, almost out of like on principle. Like, I do not, like, you might be annoying sometimes. I might mute your story sometimes if you're being annoying, like overly annoying, because it's just not the place to fight 24/7. But I'm never going to like unfollow you or not want to know how your life is going. Just because you see the world differently than me, and a lot of them did. And that always broke my heart.
Similarly, that's kind of what happened to J.K. Rowling, but on a larger scale.
She's so liberal in almost every respect. It's insane.
Yeah.
It's bonkers, right? That somebody who is very much agrees with them on every issue other than this just happened to pick the one issue that gets you in deep, deep trouble.
And it's not just friends, it divides families too. Like, it just broke people's brains, not just the trans issue, but Trump and just this series of events that was extremely divisive for people started with it was COVID, then BLM, then like the 2020 election, and then J6. All of that series of events in such a short period of time broke people's brains and made it impossible for us to communicate.
This is from a website called The Pedestrian. A comprehensive list of every Harry Potter actor who supports J.K. Rowling and who doesn't. You'll notice here on Ray Fiennes' picture, they put an emoji, an angry devil emoji. And if you look at the one for Daniel Radcliffe, they have put a smiling halo.
What did you tell me about like how you like the direction that someone's face is turning determines whether they're seen as a villain or a good guy?
I have what is it over there? It's
if they're turned to the right, they're a good guy. If they're turned to the left, they're a bad guy.
Yeah, that was somebody told that to me. Whether it's in photos, if they're facing the right, they're a good guy. If they're facing the left, they're a bad guy.
Interesting.
I mean, that was really funny because people pointed that out when I made the meme of Tiffany Gomez and Crazy Plain Lady who called everyone bums.
Yes.
And they're like, why didn't you put Tiffany Gomez on the right? I'm like, you're thinking about it more than I am.
You're thinking about it too hard. Yeah.
Yeah. But here, they have a list that says against J.K. Rowling. They have Daniel Radcliffe, Drag Her King, Emma Watson. They have Emma Watson, Rupert Grint, Katy Leung. She played Cho Chang. Ivana Lynch. Oh, so Ivana Lynch did apparently. Percy Weasley, Ginny Weasley. Oh, but some of these people. Are it's more that they're supporting trans ideology, not that they're condemning J.K. Rowling.
But you can interpret more from their lack of comment on J.K. Rowling, right?
It's really funny.
If you say something in support of trans ideology and say nothing about the condemnation that J.K. Rowling has received, we know where you stand.
Yeah. On the fence, Jason Isaacs, who played Lucius Malfoy, Tom Felton, who played Draco Malfoy. Of course, they're the bad guys in the movies, and to these people, they're the bad guys in real life. Yep. In support, Robbie Coltrane, Ray Fiennes, Helena Bonham Carter, Jim Broadbent, that's the guy who plays Horace Slughorn, and then no comment from Michael Gambon, because you have to have a comment. They put no comment as in support of.
Right, exactly.
Because they're evil, and they don't allow you to just not be political.
So what do you make of this? Graham Linehan writes, the young actors from the Harry Potter series instantly betrayed her. If I were a star who had never shown any ability to act past the prepubescent level that got me into the business, I'd be keeping my head down, not signing statements insinuating that my old mentor was a bigot.
I think it's the opposite for them. I think for the youth, showing general support for whatever the current ideology is seen as marketable for them. And it's not like they're hurting for work. They're just not losing out. They're just not getting jobs that are as relevant as they did when they got a job on Harry Potter.
Yeah.
But you're never going to get that again. And there are still people that fan cast Daniel Radcliffe as Wolverine and would like him to portray Wolverine. I actually feel like for the most part, it's not like when people hear his name, they think about what he said about J.K. Rowling.
I do, just because
I think they think about her that way. I think they think about Hermione that way.
Well, he became, unlike Emma Watson, Daniel Radcliffe did become like an ambassador for the Trevor Project.
Yeah.
I mean, he has been more outspoken about trans issues than Emma Watson has.
But I feel like he doesn't get labeled. Maybe I'm just missing it. Like, I don't feel like he gets that label. I feel like she's
getting labeled like that more because she was very, very outspoken about feminism in the 2010s, and it was like she was hopping on the trend. She hopped on the bandwagon. But I think he's more like ideologically outspoken about the trans issues.
You'll also notice that most of the people who are either in support of her right to, again, they're not saying it's not that they're in support of what she says. They're saying that they're in support of her right to say it and not be treated like an other. It's all older people who have more life experience and perspective.
Speaking of Mean Girls, this is like a hit piece article like this where you list and categorize everyone as either an ally or an enemy of your movement is literally a high school level burn book. Yep. Like where you're choosing the worst picture of them to make them less sympathetic and smearing them as a bigot. Like, they're literal children. He also wrote that these three deserve to be remembered as symbols of the most remarkable arrogance, cowardice, and ingratitude. But asking what Rowling actually said that was so terrible produces nothing. You've never seen a transphobic statement from J.K. Rowling because none exists. Although there should be. If you ask me. I think maybe she could go a little bit further with it. But
it scares me more than anything because she is such a bastion of liberal politics in general. For somebody who did a lot of good, I believe in a lot of ways her stories did a lot of good for the world. I think that she got I think she got a lot of people that wouldn't have been into reading, and I think there's a lot of stories from people who said, like, look, I never picked up a book before I read that. Now I'm going to college for, like for English lit or something like that. I think
those are
that's
the same people that grew up to hate her, though.
I mean, I wouldn't.
A lot of them.
I don't know if, like, does a good person judge the content of their actions by how the people who they benefited turn out? Because it's not like they didn't turn out bad because they read her books. So she actually helped people that became her enemy, which would make her the good guy either way, right? Like, I think that she did a lot of good for that. I think that in a lot of ways, she's also a voice of rationality, albeit a little bit snarky from time to time, that might help people realize that you can be outspoken. Granted, the fact that she's so wealthy kind of caps that for a lot of people. They're like, look, she can be outspoken because she's got the money to be outspoken. Fine. But, like, I just think that there's still a bit of a unifying nature in the Harry Potter franchise because the hatred for the author is so terminally online.
I just think there are a lot of people in J.K. Rowling's position who do have the fame, they have the material security and the friends where they could easily speak out. And I'm sure that there are so many people in Hollywood that feel the same way about this stuff. And they just don't speak out because of cowardice. Like, I believe that Daniel Radcliffe is an ideologue, but there are so many more people in Hollywood, especially in J.K. Rowling's generation, that probably agree with her 1,000%, but wouldn't dare to defend her or start speaking out in the same way.
Yep. It's a scary insight into the power groups have, especially when it's tied to certain ideologies, and it shows the weird effect that popular culture has on larger scale issues in society when something as benign as a children's author. Look, the funny thing about it is I've come to really enjoy her TV show, CB Strike. It's funny because, like, I can watch that and I'm like, it's not J.K. Rowling, it's Robert Galbraith. That's the name, right? Like, she's too
trans.
She's too powerful.
Her pen name is trans.
She will be good forever. It's going to be interesting. Now, the one interesting thing that we will probably not we'll live to see it, but we'll be very old, is like what's going to happen when she passes away and her kids get hold of the property, because we have seen what they've done to Lord of the Rings.
I'm sure she's thinking ahead. Like, if she's smart, she's just gonna, like, do everything she can legally to prevent them from using this IP after she's gone.
Yep.
Because you just know they're going to bastardize it. Specifically, like, they're gonna make Harry Potter trans. Mm-hmm. They're gonna go, like, their pettiness and indignity knows no bounds. So I think she needs to be thinking ahead about that.
Yeah, it's an interesting. I find her to be one of the most interesting cases because she was a tipping off point, one of the bigger flashpoints for the culture war for a lot of people, I think, because
in like 2018.
Yeah, like because it was away from the movies and the television of everything of what everybody else was commenting on, video games, movies, and she's over here like, look, I made some influential movies. It's also interesting too because she's so closely tied to people's adult lives too. Like, it's not kids, like you said before. It's not kids necessarily reading Harry Potter. They might go with their parents to these, like, kids might love it, sure, but it's millennials that really carry water, that love Harry Potter, that watch the movies every Christmas and stuff like that. So it's interesting. All right, let's go to Superchats. I would like a second crisis party to deal with the fact that I'm sick here today, ladies and gentlemen. I'm asking today.
It's the least you can do. BCNC said, what's your karaoke go-to song? Imagine you're at gunpoint if you don't karaoke. You'll just get shot.
Shot.
You'll just be like, I'm done.
Shot.
Peace out.
Yeah.
But if you had to.
If I had to.
Would you rap?
No, I wouldn't. Though there's a couple of songs that I could probably do.
Do people rap karaoke?
Dude, I have no idea if people rap karaoke. Is that a thing? I don't know. What would you do if it was karaoke?
I don't know. We'll circle back on that one. Austin Brown said, for all of the Christian crisis actors out there, Bible Time with Melanie Mack is up on YouTube. She's reading the Bible from the beginning. Enjoy.
Yeah, did you ever
you
check
told
that out?
me about that.
I was like, Mary, you're going to love this.
Yeah. Shane H. Wilder said, I thought you couldn't sign a contract if you were not sound of mind. Also, what sick MFer tries to buy housing out from nuns? Katy can F off. Agreed.
She's like, ooh, nuns. Ooh,
she's just trying to look as evil as possible. Like, it's not good enough if the nun is healthy. The nun needs to be on death's door. Sir Rank O Productions said, not the biggest fan of her, but it's not like Katy stole the house from him. He signed the contract. It's his responsibility. The son should have helped.
I think the argument would be that he wasn't in his right mind.
Right.
So,
yeah.
You know, she's going around to like hospital wings, like with contracts for rich people. Like, ooh, would you like to sell your house, sir?
She'll put an ad in the paper because
Private
those are the only
hospitals.
people reading it.
Let's move on. Go ahead and tell us all about what is going on with these awful celebrity encounters.
So there was a thread that went viral on Twitter last week that was about sharing your favorite positive celebrity encounter.
There's a $20 one there from Francisco Sanchez Jr. Thank you, Francisco.
Sorry about that. He said, hi, Mary and Brett. What do you think about what Trevor Bauer had to show today? It's sad he lost out on a couple of years in baseball over lies. We're planning on talking about that tomorrow.
We will absolutely be discussing that tomorrow. And it is like when you play pro sports, you only have a very limited window in which to be successful, right? So to lose 2 years.
If you think about it, he should have grounds to sue her.
She'd never be able to pay him, but we are going to talk about it tomorrow.
She should be criminally charged for lying, but that's a whole other discussion. Anyway, there was this thread that went viral on Twitter last week about your favorite celebrity encounters, and people were sharing all of these wholesome interactions they had with celebrities. I was like, gag. Let's get one about the worst, most effed up negative encounters you've had with celebrities, because I love focusing on the negative. So they inverted the picture of Adam Sandler with laser eyes and said, what's an interaction you had with a celebrity that was effed up and evil? Do you have any, Brett? Just before we get into it.
I don't have any like severely awful stories with celebrities. I do have like, there's a funny story about like how, so I've made the comment here before plenty of times how I grew up loving gangster rap because I always found underground rap to be overly pseudo-intellectual and a bit try-hard. But it also comes back to this time, like, look, there's for the people who are underground rap fans here in the chat, and I'm sure there's a couple, Slug, who, the band Atmosphere, which was the group Atmosphere, which is a hip hop group from Minnesota, very, very well known over the years, a lot of songs that people would have heard before. Well, they owned a record store in Minneapolis called The Fifth Element, and I went there once, and he was just very dismissive. He's probably really busy. Like at that time, I don't know how common it was for him to actually work the floor. This was already
doesn't matter. If Keanu Reeves can do it, anyone can.
Exactly. So the point is he was like dismissive, and I was like, and I just never forgave him after that. I'm like, I'm gonna now abandon a whole genre of music. And there is underground rap that I actually like. Right, like I love Sage Francis. He made a lot of anti-war songs in the early 2000s that I thought were actually quite brave, given we were in the support the troops era of Hollywood at that time. You know, there was pushback on the movie front, but he was making songs like right after 9/11 that were saying like, look, this war is illegal. We should not be sending troops to Iraq. But yeah, when I met Slug, I just never got over it.
I think good for you. Hold that grudge till your grave. And by the way, I did want to follow up on me saying that my aunt dated JC from NSYNC. She gave me a few more details. So it was just for a few months. He was just going into Mickey Mouse Club and would be living in Florida for long stretches of time for that. It was in high school. They were 16 and he was very funny and sweet. In my opinion, she says better than JT, extremely talented.
Absolutely, from what everyone says, the better singer.
He bought me roses and a stuffy for Valentine's Day. So isn't that sweet?
It's very sweet.
So now that we've gotten that positivity out of the way.
It's very sweet.
Oh, also, I think my cousins told me that they met Big Time Rush at the mall, and they were really rude. So I'll add that one. My 2 cents.
There you go.
Here's the first one. Meek Mill and Kevin Hart regularly come to a specific Philadelphia club and literally never tip, despite never paying for anything. They get distraught when dancers don't give them attention, yet get annoyed if they do. Also, regularly bringing the meanest and rudest people possible with them.
It's a very funny, like, almost feminine trait to be like, don't give me attention, and then get mad when you don't get attention.
Right? Yeah.
Like,
but also, if we know anything
beta
about
era.
like how strippers behave when you don't tip them from yesterday, be careful with that. Another one said, back when I was a photographer at a show, DMX randomly bumped into me. He bucked at me and took my camera and walked away.
That doesn't sound real. That sounds fake.
Then came back laughing and gave it back. True crackhead energy, LMAO.
Well, that could happen to anybody.
That sounds realistic to me.
Yeah.
Larry
crazy
David
things.
came into my work and made snide remarks about the food, but then later he was in an awkward situation where he needed me to vouch for him, and I decided not to.
Well, you know, you get.
You
what
said that sounded fake too.
That it sounded fake. He probably vouched for him.
Okay, here's the realest one.
Like, what would he need to vouch for him for?
I don't know.
It doesn't
I don't
make
know,
any
but
sense.
it sounds
This is
very,
fake.
very Curb Your Enthusiasm
Yes.
to me. So I believe it. I choose to believe it. Realistic one. I work in advertising, and OMFG Mindy Kaling. Mindy, when I catch you.
What do you think it was?
She's probably a nightmare to work with.
Do you think she was? Do you think she
I
was
believe
like,
that.
look, Velma? It's the greatest thing that's ever been made. You're gonna love Velma when it comes out. And she's like, Mindy, I'm just trying to make your ad here. Could you just
They're like,
shut
Mindy,
up?
I liked Veep, but this isn't the move. I'm just trying to look out for you here. No one is willing to tell you no. Velma is a mistake. Please stop for your own good.
Dr. Phil called me a, quote, fat loser bitch in Home Depot when I said I had healthy relationships with my family. That's fake!
Okay,
It's
look.
fake!
The fake ones are funnier than the real ones. That's my point.
Fake.
How about this one? Neil Patrick Harris climbed through my window one night and beat me and my brother with a shovel.
It's fake. It's just
The fake
become,
ones are better.
It's just become a creative writing class. That's what it is.
One time I saw Martin Scorsese at a Spider-Verse screening where he would not be caught dead. And when I tried to get a picture with him, he pushed me to the ground and called me a loser and said I was the reason why cinema was dying. And then he spit in my mouth. You good there, Brett? You about to keel over?
I'm dying. Okay. Yes. Out of all of them, I hope that's the one that's true.
I hope it's real. No, I believe it. Except for the fact that Martin Scorsese would be at a Spider-Verse screening. That's a little harder to buy.
Ran into Tyler, the Creator, on the Lower East Side in 2017. Was there for a music festival, so he was in the area. Before we could even speak, he goes, "No pics today, my grandma died."
Okay, that was a lie.
Then stopped for the white kids at the cafe he was going to across the street.
Tyler, the Creator, is racist?
Oh my gosh.
Exposed?
I'm still stuck on Scorsese spitting in someone's mouth. I can't get over it. I can't get over it.
A lot of people would pay good money for
He's
that.
so old. He's so old. I don't think personally, I'm of the opinion, I don't know the guy, I know nothing about his personal life, but my guess is he
out of
aged.
character?
I'm guessing that he aged out of the mouth spitting kink years ago.
Why are you assuming it's sexual and not just that he was trying to degrade the person?
I'm
Like,
sure
you're
there-
making a lot of assumptions
I
here.
guess I am. Maybe it's sure.
I was hanging out with Louis C.K. and he didn't try to jerk it in front of me.
That really bugged them. I'm sure. They
They're
were
like,
doing-
hey, like, what? I'm not special?
That's. I mean, that there is somewhere, Mary. There is a woman who actually felt that way, who was like, what? He didn't try to do it to me. What's wrong with me?
It was probably Kathy Griffin.
Exactly.
That's why she said nobody in the comedy world ever tried to assault her, because she's basically seen as a man.
And she's like, look, I can be a woman too.
Ellen DeGeneres is evil. I don't talk about this a lot because I'm afraid of backlash, but Ellen DeGeneres dragged me by my hijab in front of a Cinnabon at an outlet mall, and I was afraid for my life. It totally happened. It's all real. I believe it. That evil woman. We know that she was mean to her employees on set.
She was very mean to her employees. I wonder if Jimmy Fallon does this too.
Yeah.
Jimmy Fallon just drags
For sure.
people by the hijab at the local Cinnabon. They came back from the strike with no mention of what happened.
They didn't even talk about it? Are they not allowed to?
He didn't address it.
Weird.
He didn't address it.
It's kind of the elephant in the room, is it not?
A little bit, yeah.
I mean, just make some jokes about it. Don't take
Oh my God.
yourself so seriously.
That time Camila Cabello burned that cross on my lawn.
She's just super racist. Even though she's not white. She's like a member of the Klan.
I'm picturing her burning the cross while the song My Oh My plays in the background. And she's wearing
Havana.
Oh gosh, I feel like I'm losing it
Okay,
today,
this one's
man.
realistic. Mr. Beast locked me in a dog kennel for 72 hours. He would do this. He would just let you have a prize at the end.
He would pay you at the end, so it would be
Yeah.
okay. There's a $20 one there from Perturbed Alpaca.
One time Neil Patrick Harris stole my roommate's car while we were on a trip to some crappy burger joint. Saw him later that night snurfing soda off a lovely lady. The burgers weren't even that good. We were just hangry.
What about
hungry.
remember the story? Like maybe the pilot who snorted coke off a woman's
The naughty boy.
the naughty boy pilot who snorted coke off the woman's chest and then said, "I've been a naughty boy." It's just
Wait, okay, if any of you guys have stories about celebrity encounters that are effed up and evil, now is your time to share.
Yes. Okay.
Don't
Yeah.
delay.
I'm sure at least somebody in our chat has an actual evil
Please.
story with an evil celebrity, right? Like it's funny. Like okay, so
It's
like
time to mean to all of them.
this is actually like a thing that's always been brought up in skating, where like some skater people just make fun of the fact that some of them, like the best, oftentimes are just like socially inept, because to
fixate on something
to
so
get
hard.
that obsessively good at something,
Yeah.
sometimes you're going to be a little bit socially, and that's
Yeah.
fine, whatever. And they'd be like, I went to the contest and I was like, hey, what's up? And they just like looked right past me, and like I always made a point to be polite to everyone at contests so that I could never be labeled the guy who was just like thought he was too good for everyone.
Then
there,
they'll
'cause
they'll
it's-
talk about you and say he was too nice. He was fake.
Yeah.
He's a bit phony.
Yeah.
This last one was really funny, and I kind of believe it happened. Kanye West personally sent his lawyers to contact me, telling me to take down my Kanye YouTube poop music videos in 2013.
Oh my
Still
God.
lives rent free in my
Oh my
head
God.
to this day.
We have our own. Look, Kanye West was here,
Oh,
and
yeah.
he just walked right by everyone. He
Yeah.
did. He did.
It was really rude and dismissive. I even told him that my dead grandmother wanted an autograph, and he ignored me. She was the biggest fan of Kanye, and he just didn't care. Anyone have bad celebrity experiences?
There's got.
I just don't have. I haven't met celebrities that much in my life.
Oh,
So
what about people that have come here? Have you had any bad experiences with? I'm putting you on
You
the
first.
I'm putting you on the
you
spot.
first.
Right now.
I know you have, but are you willing to share?
Have I had any bad experiences? I mean, I tend to stay up here in the attic.
You've mentioned a couple.
Who?
One person you said was like licking a lollipop, And
Oh,
acting-
no. Made a comment that like guys should not eat. Have you seen the memes?
what did
Have you
you
seen
say?
the memes going around lately where it's like I mentioned it to you yesterday. It was like the girl's like, what is your craziest? What is your biggest ick
Yes.
in a guy? And she's like, when they're like happy. And it was like that where like somebody that was here.
Do you want to name?
I will not
Okay,
name.
don't.
Said like men should not eat suckers, and I'm just like it struck me as like the weirdest thing to care about.
It's like men shouldn't drink drinks out of a straw.
Yeah,
It's gay.
well, like
She was
whatever.
probably just trolling whoever it was.
could-
I don't even remember who you were talking about.
Guys,
Guys, I can't spill the tea because I don't remember who Brett was talking about when he said this.
I
but-
don't. Otherwise,
Anything else?
I don't think.
Any other stories?
I don't think I've had any bad experiences with anybody here. Not that I can
trying to
think of. No, not that I can think of. My favorite was probably meeting Papa John early on.
You know what? I met Phil Labonte.
That's true.
And then he hate crimed me for being emo.
Andrina says, "I bet it was Pearl." It was not Pearl. It was not Pearl. I did not meet Pearl.
I didn't meet Pearl
I don't
either.
oftentimes meet the people now because I'm usually still working.
I don't
by the
either.
time they go do the show. So
I feel like one would stand out to me if I had it.
yeah.
I think, okay, when Milo was here, he sat down at the bar and I was standing on the opposite end, and then he was like trying to get me to pour him a drink, and he already seemed a little bit off, so I was like,
Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen.
maybe I don't want to be involved in this.
Yeah. I mean, almost
That was a
everybody
little
that-
bit awkward.
Most people that come here are pretty chill, for the most part.
I mean, yeah, I don't really interact with them
Yeah.
that much. Remember when Green Room was more of a thing?
The good old days.
That still happens, right?
Yes,
Occasionally.
The problem is like I never want to like go downstairs and like just like whose conversation am I going to unceremoniously walk into?
Yeah.
Because everyone's talking, everyone's interacting.
But you
So-
just have to own it. Just be like, hi,
Hello, person.
I'm here now.
I'm here to just talk to you. Yeah. So yeah, it's good
Anyone
times.
you've been starstruck about?
James Lindsay at first. Yeah, I was very excited
Okay.
to meet James Lindsay when James Lindsay came here because it's like he was like one of the few people that like got me to read like an actual book that wasn't like an audio book at the time when I read Cynical Theories. So
He was your J.K. Rowling.
he was my J.K. Rowling. You know that was good stuff. That was good. And meeting Kevin Sorbo because he's from Minnesota.
You were like, oh, hi,
Yeah.
I'm so excited to meet
Basically, right? Like, and it was good. It was that was.
you. But you
that was
feel
fun.
weird about asking someone for a selfie.
I never, ever. Oh no, I was starstruck to meet Samita because I'd watched her.
Oh, yeah,
in
yeah.
tons of stuff before, and I was very excited.
Positive
about-
celebrity encounter there.
No, that was one that rose above expectations, high above.
She's awesome.
She's a very nice
We
nice
should
person.
definitely have her back on the show
Yes.
soon. All right. Let's finish up with the super chats.
Or no, there wasn't one more. I thought there was one more.
I don't think
There was that all of
so.
them? It's just so great. I love
rest
the one.
of them were
No,
just
you
all
forgot
blatantly fake.
the funniest one that was right at the beginning. It says Jeremy Renner ran over my dog with his
Oh, yeah.
snowplow, but he got in the accident right afterwards, so everybody glossed over it.
Yeah. Justice for that dog.
Seriously.
Man.
All right, guys, let's finish up the super chats here. I was hoping for a second crisis party to fix my sickness, but I don't know. Guess it's not gonna happen today.
Shane H. Wilder said, take a fisherman's friend, Brett. They work great.
Say that again.
A fisherman's friend? I don't know what that is, but
Okay.
it should be a remedy for your cold. Sir Ranko Productions said, beforehand, the original sale... wait, what is this? Oh, he was continuing previous super chat. Beforehand, with the original sale, if he cared about his father... The son should have helped. He just wants the house for himself now. That said, I think this law is a good idea.
That's a fair point.
They just want their inheritance. Nothing wrong with that. Napalm Sanctuary X said, at least it wasn't Kanye West.
Yes.
In what situation?
In relation to what? Yep. All right.
Shane H. Wilder said, I agree with Mary. I've tried to be friends with coworkers who have turned on me once they realized I was pro-life. Meh, what can you do? I'll live.
That's such
Yeah.
a weird That's such a weird one to like I get it.
If you're in like a normie workplace, the best idea is to just not follow people, like have your coworkers and your boss follow you on something like Facebook or Instagram, because if they get a whiff that you're like a little bit right leaning, you're gonna get socially shunned.
It's like that that meme. It says hey, would it be cool if we added you on Facebook? Not unless a lot of people get real comfortable with a lot of things real fast, right? This is a coworker from work wants to add you on social media.
What kind of memes are you into? You
And
open
then-
your trench coat and you've got all the memes.
Oh, so many.
Francisco Sanchez Jr.
No, that was a $20 one.
Oh, sorry. Grofty said, on the topic of losing friends, I really can't say anything around my own mother after 2016 other than I love you. So depressing.
That is honestly
sucks.
really sad, right? Like
Yeah.
that maybe more than anything, like worse than friends is family, right?
Yes.
Because that is part of the dogma of
It even kind of poisons relationships with family members who you agree with, because you start just...
exactly.
Like, it always circles back
It
to
becomes the
politics.
most important part, and
it's
that
like,
sucks.
I don't enjoy sitting here going back and forth with you, agreeing with each other. Can we just talk about life?
Yeah, like
you know?
my brother will send me political memes or political videos, and I'm like, I don't want to talk about this with you. Well, me and him used to just send the videos where a guy runs up to the camera really fast and then flips the camera off and says like that's what my brother would send me in the past, and that made me feel very loved. Like that was that's what it was about. That those relationships and those things go deeper than just simple politics,
Right.
and it is kind of sad and a commentary on the times where you have to feel both simultaneously comforted by these things but also grossed out by it. Sucks.
It's like the source of your anxiety and the way that you soothe yourself by like consuming all of this political content.
And that's like I don't anymore though. Like
Yeah.
I just don't. Not in the same. Like I just like sticks.
Look, I'm in the middle of my metro station documentary. I'm doing just fine.
Exactly. There's a couple more there.
Yurishima Otaru said, Defoe perches on the end of my bed every night. That is terrifying.
That's
That
I still think that one of my earliest mistakes here on this podcast was calling, like I accidentally said William. I did not get the name right one of the first times doing
William Dafoe.
Willem Dafoe. Yes. Yep. And one more.
Perturbed Alpaca said, fisherman's friend are great lozenges.
Oh, well, I here have Cough Drop brand cough drops.
Humble man.
The halls were too expensive. I'm like, I'm not spending the money on those. I'm not doing that. It's not happening, guys. I want to thank everybody for bearing with us today. I know that I don't sound all that great, and I probably don't have the greatest energy here today, but
Hopefully
thank
better
you guys.
by tomorrow.
Hopefully I will be better by tomorrow, but thank you guys so much for joining us today. Would you hit the like button on this video and subscribe to this channel if you have not done so already, and turn the notification bell on so that you can be notified anytime one of these episodes goes live or anytime a segment goes up. So thank you for that. Mary, where can they find you? I'm holding out hope that we get a crisis party before the end here. I don't know.
What's the holdup? Send me validation on Instagram at Mary Archived, or you can send me hate on Twitter or X. That is also Mary Archived.
Perfect. All right, one more here from Carnell.
Oh, you go ahead and read
Oh,
that.
okay, I got it. Okay, it says, Carnell says, Mary, what sound does your Asteroid Boy boots make when you walk in them? Inquiring minds want to know.
It's not really
Boot.
they don't squeak, if that's what you're asking. They're just kind of a thud. They really don't fit me well.
Yeah.
Like, they're about 3 sizes too big for my feet, so I can't actually wear them outside. They're just gonna fall off. I was like picturing, what if I got caught in the rain in these and it's just sloshing, like it's just a bucket full of water that I'm walking around in.
And there is one more from DCNC who sent $5 without a message. Thank you so much for that, guys. All right. Hit the like button.
Super slow outro so we get to 2 crisis parties.
I can do that. Pop Culture Crisis is here. No, my name is Brett. You can follow me at Brett Dasovic on both Twix and Instagram. This show, Pop Culture Crisis, is here Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is noon Pacific. If you would like to listen to the audio version of this podcast, we are on Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Pandora, and Spotify. There's one more super chat there. Mary, would you like to read it? It hasn't even come through. Or was that the DC? No, it's from Grofty. He says,
yes.
Yup. Thank you so much for that.
Damn,
Grofty.
we're still not...
A $20 one from Ellie Ray with no message. Thank you, Ellie Ray, for that. They're like, just please give the outro at normal speed.
Get over with it.
Literally
Come
anything
on.
but doing the outro in the
Well, now we have to do it slow just because we have to wait for the party.
Oh, I will set that shit off manually, ladies and gentlemen. I have the power.
You're ready to go.
I have the power.
Okay.
3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, guys. That is noon Pacific. Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Pandora, and Spotify. A $5 super chat there from DC&C with no message. Thank you so much for that. If you want to follow the show on social media, we are on Twix at popculture_show, Facebook and TikTok at Pop Culture Crisis, Instagram at Pop Culture Crisis Pod. We will be back in about less than a couple minutes because I will bring the screen back when the second crisis party goes off. We'll be back, however, with another episode tomorrow. We'll see you then, guys. Bye. $20 from SuperDank503. You guys rock. Have a good night. We're leaving again. Bye, guys. And winning the poll, ladies and gentlemen, politicians with 47% of the vote. They are the worst of the worst. We'll be back with another episode tomorrow, guys. See you then.